Yeah. Hello, YouTube. Good morning to you all. Good afternoon, even. Welcome. Didn't miss anything. We're just getting rumbling. Getting rumbling at the moment. Cool. Like I say, should be a couple of seconds and we will get ourselves underway again. Thanks for joining us early for the Kung Fu Cup action, guys. We'll be here all day covering the Kung Fu Cup as per usual. Yeah, should be a good one. Kung Fu Cups have been great lately. The lineup's a little light on players. I mean, the Europeans have not shown up at all on this one. No Clem, he seems to be taking a couple days off. But Lambo, Rex, Shin, Bjorn, Zaun, herO, Nightmare, Classic, Arrow Fire. Classic Arrow Fire is actually another first round match that I think is very interesting. That one's actually starting up now. Yeah, I actually think that's really cool as well. I kind of want to watch some ZVZ, to be honest. I'm kind of intrigued in what the ZVZ looks like more than anything else. And also, the winner of this plays likely Bjorn. And I think Bjorn will have an interesting match as well. So it's possible we kind of go into Bjorn's match after this and then we just kind of follow through. In general, I think we can't really go wrong once we get to round of 8s. I think the round of 8s are going to be very good today. I think all the round of 8s will be interesting. So we'll kind of see just what the day gives us as Rex is loading up a lobby. So we'll be off and away shortly. Rex and Lambo on lockdown. Good morning. Hello, guys. Welcome on in. Go GLHF. And we are beginning and starting and StarCrafting. Heck yeah. Straight into the loading screen. You're still upset about your autograph shirt? There was no shot I was going to get a shirt delivered in the time frame to actually be able to get this done. Yeah. Next time. But I just need like a 1 to 2 month reminder preemptively, you know? Yay. Let's get into some ZVZ, my friends, as we have in the bottom left-hand corner. The red Zerg player from onside is going to be Rex. He takes on the blue Zerg in the top right-hand corner. This is Lambo. Preemptively give me the 1-year reminder. Well, yeah, I don't know. I was going to say Home Story Cup, so I'm trying to think if there's anything else before Home Story Cup next year. Probably not, very sadly. Yay. It's very sad. It's actually crazy to have, like, no upcoming SC2 events. Really crazy. But that is the world we currently live in, unfortunately, guys. Again, hope everyone is doing well today. Thank you so much for joining us and hanging out. Excited to bring you guys our games as we move on through. And like I say, enjoy some action here today. Now the Overlord moving down to the bottom left a little bit. Drones coming up, hatching the pool on the way, so everyone's opening in the same way. Pool first for a little bit of safety, so nobody is doing anything particularly dangerous or super scary or like anything like this that's going to put us towards a super scary position or anyone's in trouble early on. So yeah, we don't see any of that just yet, but we will wait it out and see if we get anything coming through soon. As yeah, Zerg vs. Zerg obviously can at any point can almost take an aggressive twist and a turn, right? So always expecting something to happen just around the corner, essentially. This Overlord just moves out. You got the Overlord on the right side from Rex, moving back down a little bit as well. Been some very mild differences in the build choices, but I'm not going to delve into those because I just don't know it well enough and be personally don't find those small differences super interesting super early. See if anything too exciting happens. This overload continues to move along. I mean, we've got ourselves just queens on the way up, the link speed on the way up at the moment as well. It's just bringing a lot of that into play right now. And that's going to come down from Rex. Well, Lambo already goes into the lair. So Lambo is going to go without link speed into the lair instead. So going to play a little bit scarily. A little bit scarily right now as we settle in. That lair coming through. Again, the drone's coming up. The bayonet's coming around. Our overlords are spread across the front. And this queen just going to pop forward. A couple of queens actually going to pop forward. For a few moments, evolution chamber going to come down as well. Link speed and the link still building. Now with a couple of queens are going to go and put a bit of pressure out. See what we can do. Have a good stream, Wardy. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone on the YouTube. Who's the best player now? I think hard to say. Seryl's not popping along as the best with some recent results, isn't it? Seryl's definitely been very strong in recent events, obviously. Won Maestros, Home Story. Very difficult to deny that, as Rex does deny the third base. Sorry, guys. I'm looking at YouTube chat. I forgot I'm actually observing. My bad. Lambo's always going to take the later third base, so you don't play with link speed. So if you don't have link speed, you don't really have a choice but to take a later third. Rex wants this queen. Lambo pulls back to reassess this. But a creep chamber down to buy himself a little bit longer. I just don't think that was worth it. There was a lot of lings that went down. And Lambo now starting to get roaches up. Those roaches were going to build no matter what anyway as well. As the lair continues through, +1 missiles and that roach speed. Building the carapace upgrade going to start on this evolution chamber as well, so also getting that into play at the moment. So yeah, missiles and carapace both coming up. The roach speed will be finishing very soon. And again, the few zerglings just gather together. Going to be coming along over that right hand side. The hatch is going to be chilling. Big chilling, in fact. Yeah, the overseer is moving about. Rex now obviously would like to die in this third base again, but it's looking unrealistic, especially as the roaches of Lambo have roach speed. He's very confidently able to kind of step over there. And you can kind of see the difference. Like, yeah, you've had the extra lava of this base, but you've not really been mining much more from this hatchery before Lambo is able to mine it himself. You know, the work counts are still even. Lambo's only just been oversaturated in the last little bit, so it's been a mild eco advantage from Rex. A lot of what you get with this build is kind of the map control of the lings and so on, so it's really the map control that you're kind of latching onto initially. See those few roaches peeling back over to the right-hand side. They're going to gather up a couple drones, so starting to mine long distance. Actually, they shouldn't make the trip back. They should just come back over here because the hatch is finished. Lambo just a little mistake, but it's not that big of a deal. He's putting APM elsewhere. There's a overseer flying around. Amazing if this overseer can keep energy going, and then eventually you can contaminate an evo chamber. The evo chamber is right at the front here, so would actually be pretty decent. You could do that. Just gonna have the overseer moving around for a couple seconds as well. Gonna be having the lings also staying out on the map. So again, keeping very busy for a few moments right now. Not letting anything up just yet. Let's move back over the side. A few roaches are going to gather about as well. Trying to decide where exactly they want to go to. As we, mostly just playing defensively here. We do have a few roaches burrowing around the map. Lambo invested into that burrow and tunneling claws, so we have got that. Continue to move around here for a little bit. And it's Roger's about to unburrow, so it's going to be very annoying the fact they're already in these mineral lines. They have a lot of roaches around the top side, and there the roaches already popping up and starting to deal some of the damage over here, so the damage begins to be done. Trying to poke on the other side is Rex, but minus 11 drones and then poking to not really much success right now. Don't really love it for where he is currently sitting. Just going to see a couple of biles coming down the zone. We see how these roaches are going ham at the other side of the map, so this wasn't even really dealt with properly, unfortunately, which is very unfortunate, like I say. That's going to make this very difficult. 15 drones go down. We're actually going to commit to the bigger fight on the other side. The Roach Ravager will commit through and shouldn't really have enough. You can already see Lambo's numbers are looking very, very good. And Rex is just going to come out and say, GG's, admits defeat there. And it's going to be first round going to Lambo for 1-0 lead. All right. It's going to be a fast start of the day, I think, guys. I mean, the ZVZ is always meant to be quick, and Lambo is a very strong player. I also think Lambo is, funnily enough, I actually think Rex does not have as much hope here against Lambo as he has kind of being cheesy in some of the other matchups that we see Rex sometimes take part in the early stages of a, Kung Fu Cup or so. We'll be heading to our next game in a second. Looks like Arrow Fire Classic first game didn't last very long either, so yes, there has not been too much missed spike going into the ZVZ. I think that PvP might be cool. I mean, it still might be cool, right? Just, yeah. Alright, we will kick off again here, my friends. Let's get in game. As we now already have a 1-0 lead. Rex is in the bottom left-hand side, down a game in this series in the top right. However, blue Zerg player is going to be Lambo. Lambo has the 1-0 advantage as we again will not see too much happening just yet. No early pool on Lambo's side, but if you look on Rex's side, the pool is down. We already saw the intention of Lambo to kind of play safe last game with the pool first, and there it is again. So Lambo's immediately going to take eco advantage at the start of this game, so that's going to be a big one right from the get-go there. Again, pool coming up, and we do have the first lings on the way from Rex, but not feeling great for Rex. Like I say, it's not feeling like a fantastic position, all things considered, right now. Feelings will pop. We'll begin to make a move. And see if these things can do anything. Like I say, because Lambo's gone pool first, it really feels as though it's unlikely to find much, but I guess we will see. Just gonna see the feelings gonna nibble, a couple of lings gonna take some damage. Go back and forth, hit this hatchery once again. Do a little bit more. Pull the drones from Lambo as well to help with his defense. Having to pull drones feels quite extensive, honestly, but seems as though we are getting the job done for the moment. Things get it back again. Hatch and the Queen will gather up and take a few more moments. Settle down right now. Just going to be having Ling's going to play in once more. And Queens and drones continue going bad. The Lings are going to keep chasing each other around for a little bit longer now. And a couple more of those Lings just chasing. Two drones coming up. Overlord and the Queens coming into place. I see this other Zergling going to wander back home from Lambeau. What was lost overall? A drone, a Ling, and one Queen lost from Lambeau. He's up 6 workers. You can already see this has obviously been very good for him. Essentially just did what his opponent did, just more economically, which is not a great place to be at, so not exactly ideal at all. Not ideal at all. Couple Lings head back down to the bottom left. There's Overlord going to be gathering through. A few drones and the Queen and the Extractors coming up also. This Ling is just going to be chilling underneath that Overlord. The other Overlord heading toward the top. And yeah, Link speed building. Hatchery on its way. The drones in production. Queen being brought in as well at this current point. You have Chamber and Roach are both building at the front. We are going to have the couple Lings still sitting tidy as well. I see Rex heading to that +1 missiles and the Link speed. Lambeau is going to get Carapace up. Does he already have Link speed? He does, so... Rex kind of getting like Link speed behind this, sort of suggesting, I guess, that this is going to probably be more so, and he cancels missiles. He's going to build a ton of Roaches and just going to flood with Lings behind it for the all-in. So Lambeau needs to be not too greedy right now. Lair, drones, these are all things which actually probably don't come into the game for him. Obviously, long-term Lair is useful, but in the here and now, it's not exactly ideal. Spinning Nest will come into the back of the natural. Lambeau starts to see the units, right? So he begins to recognize maybe just how many units there are. He can start his own production. I feel like he's going to be okay. He pulls away from the third base, though. I mean, he knows it's only a 2 base from the opponent. So he says he has no reason to keep the third alive. He's not even going to try and defend over there. I like that because he's definitely created advantages in other ways, such as the work account. So I don't think there's any reason to put yourself in danger by trying to defend this third base and being way too far forward and just giving up supply. Because that third base is absolutely something, like I say, you can let go down and still be okay in the game. So Lambeau playing the smart move here already. Roaches are going to step forward, stepping up this ramp. A couple of these Roaches will take some shots. The Queen's going to be up that high ground as well. Lings. We're both in the Banes. They're going to cancel, just finish this hatchery. And then what? We're going to build a lair and a +1 missiles from Rex. I mean, then I guess he's going to throw the third hatch down as well. He's just going to say that he thinks the best case, or the best way forward right now is to essentially just head into a... yeah, kind of a 3-hatch setup and just macro out of this and just try and take the advantage of having map control, but... Lambeau's going to have map control soon himself. His Spires on the way, obviously, is kind of a big deal. Hard for Rex to deal with that when he's committed to aggression early. And Lambeau, because he kept the lair, it's one of the benefits he can gain from it, just already going into that Spire and getting that up and running. And let's get a few more shots. Just going to have the couple Lings on the bottom side. Lambeau just trying to see what's up. See the hatchery, for example. See the +1 missiles upgrading. So you actually get a lot of info here from Lambeau. He's even going to get the lair scout. Wow. This Ling sees everything. So he knows everything. He knows his opponent is going straight into all of the tech from here. He can take his third hatchery safely. I think more notably, he can very safely build into some mutas because he's not going to get hit by anything anytime soon if his opponent's putting money into tacking up. Yeah. +1 missiles, carapace, and that roach speed. Continue to come through. Just a few Lings heading back down the bottom right side. Roaches just regather between the natural and the third base. A few Lings back around the bottom side as well. Again, +1 missiles and carapace will build. The Roaches will produce. And our mutas will be on the way. See those few servants still gathering about. A couple of the queens already there to help push this overseer back the other direction as well. Is just going to arrive and instantly take down an overseer. Nice little grab. Overseer goes down already. Again, a couple of extra meters. And the missile upgrade all coming up. Plus 2 missiles to carapace and the roach speed. Roach speed especially going to be done very soon. Yeah, Lambo's supply is massive, and if he finds a chance to attack, it's going to be good for him. Already the meters are going to force a response, and then that's money going elsewhere than just unit production, and right now you obviously need some unit production. As the meters get in, it's going to get straight in for the Overlord here. Just going to pick that off. The rest of these things continue to go moving around. And yeah, the meters are just going to come across, get rid of an Overlord here. Also, the couple queens step forward. The meters already taken some hits from that. That Spore Crawler going to be nearby too. Again, help to zone this back the other way at this point. Seven more roaches just build on through. Plus 2 missiles on both sides of the map as well. Dan is going to pop down from Rex. But Lambo's maxed out, and the supply advantage is absolutely there. A game which was kind of decided on the early pool, realistically, and we've had Lambo basically holding the lead ever since. He did the right things. He made sure he wasn't exposed. He made sure there was no openings he was going to get punished on. This is pretty much going to be it. As we get ready to run forward, Roach Ravager kind of goes ahead of itself. He's still micro the meter, sorry, which is where some of the damage is coming from. I'm watching this Roach army because I'm expecting this to just be kind of game ending fairly soon. Upgrades are even. In a moment, Rex will have actually plus 2 missiles, so there's a disadvantage there for Lambo. He's just going to sit and hit this hatchery, though, and we can't really do much about it as Rex. The meters will come forward and target the Ravagers and take out the very important units in the back lines of this Zerg army. So with those Ravagers going down, then Lambo's army is actually better tech. You're not going to have vials yourself to drop down. The last one does land, but at least that's not going to matter too much in Lambo's point of view as he continues to work his way through all of these roaches. The Ravagers doing their work, the meters doing their thing. He just started to go down a little sloppy, but it's just not going to matter. This game is absolutely donezoed. GG, Lambo to Rex 0 as we take a victory in the first round here from Lambo. Beyond does have an opponent. I wonder if we can get to Beyond's game. Or Classic Percival. No, I just clicked Korea. I just clicked to log into America when I was already on America. I want to go to Korea. I'm looking at Classic Percival, maybe. Classic Percival can't have been ready for too long, so it's definitely possible we could get Classic Percival. I will take it if it's ready, because the round of 8s are definitely the best rounds. Round of 8 onwards, and if we can get this round of 8, we might even catch the end of another round of 8 later. In-game by a couple of minutes already. Yeah, I knew it. I knew it. We have a choice, guys. We could either wait for Classic Percival to come out of game 1 and go into game 2, or we could go... We could just go, I guess, with Björn versus, I believe it's Silky, and then the winner of that plays Lambo. So we could also just do that. Do you guys have any thoughts? Like I said, the issue with Classic and Percival is that they've already begun. So they're already in game 1, which generally means it's not a great thing for us to jump into, I guess. I think we'll probably just go for the Beyond game, guys. It's probably going to lead us along a bit more nicely, just because Classic and Percival, like I say, have already begun. We're very unfortunate to miss that, by the way. They started, like, 2 minutes ago. If the CVZ was any shorter, we would have been fine. Yeah, I think we just follow into the Beyond game, then. The mainstream is on that, too, and following the mainstream is also never really a bad thing, so... It's probably, an alright route to take. Yeah, I'm sad about the classic PS4 too. Would have been nice. There's no English stream on it either, so would have been really nice. Gosh darn ZVZ taking 2 minutes longer than it needed to. I'll never forgive them. This is silky. Let me just double check. Floppy is up. Yeah, silky. Alright, we'll join in for Beyond vs Silky, guys. I think it makes the most sense. We can just follow from there. Beyond vs Silky, and just, like I say, move on through. That will be our plan. Countdown is on, and the TVZ will be starting up, guys. So another round of 16 match for us to start the day here in the Kung Fu Cup. Let's get to our loading screen and see what's going to happen. In the top right-hand side, we're going to have ourselves the blue Terran player. This is Beyond. And he is taking on the red Zerg in the bottom left, the Chinese Zerg player Silky. Let's start ourselves into this BO3. Like I say, we have got the Chinese mainstream in here, so we can follow around with that very easily as well. Alright, we're going to see the barracks going down Beyond with a Rax and a gas. Really great series against Rogue yesterday. I was unfortunate not to come out of that with a win. And yesterday's games were actually really fun. We were casting the Inu's Battles event. It was actually a really fun set of games. Use the Zerg Silky, Chinese Zerg player. In the past has been a very cheesy player as well, but see what he brings us today. See what he wants to do. There's a hatch, and it's going to come up behind the pool first. So early pool out of Silky. Let's see if he sees benefit from this, because it is quite early as well. Pool finishes, just going to be seeing the Queen. A couple of Lings. So we'd like to get across the map here and play delay on the command center. And if you can delay the command center, then you also have that opportunity or potential of, you know, then kind of following up with a roach rush or so. If you keep the Reaper busy, then the scouting never really comes through, and that's obviously a big problem in the grand scheme of things. So I'd imagine that's going to be something we possibly look at here. So Reaper command center on the SCV. That will come about for the moment. Maybe just gonna fly, a couple of Lings gonna get caught. Around for a few moments, this Rip actually gets in, gonna hit the Queen for a couple of seconds, and then obviously work its way onto this mineral line and onto those drones, so we begin to get some work done. Can get some damage dealt for the moment, so I'm getting some work out of here. For now at least. So let's see, the Queen is gonna continue to fight, and we'll have ourselves the rebound continuing as well. If it is trying to get the absolute most out of itself that it can, just continue to come back in, being as annoying as possible. A couple of Marines going to bow. We get set up here for a couple of seconds. Try and put some work on. Ourselves a starter port is about to pop a medevac. We are again reactoring Marines. We've seen so much of a move away from the Hellion play lately. It's actually really crazy just moving away from the Hellions. You got a little bit more mineral starved than in the past, so I guess in a way it's like you get rid of these big, expensive kind of mineral units, and it makes the rest of your builds, run so much smoother at the cost of giving up everything that the Hellions are good for, which is obviously quite a lot. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been building Hellions for the past many years in this matchup. The map control they give and so on is very, very potent and very powerful for sure. Medevac joins up, gathers for a few seconds, take a little moment or two. So I see the Marines will try and fight the Hellions, gather up to put a little bit of pressure on themselves. Marines are just going to go back over to the front of the group spread here, so they're going to get straight back into the forward position of the action right now. Put some work in. They'll liberate actually getting a few kills as well, so not bad from there. Just getting a little extra done already. Finding a little bit more value. Scaling speed is about to finish up as well, so we got that completed here. A second two, it's generally going to be a big plus. And the Lings are going to be here. And we have a melee upgrade plus 2 carapace, so it has been carapace focused. That is not too surprising either, to be fair. Usually that's a pretty good sign of kind of where we're going to, and that we're in the right direction. Carapace first against marine heavy builds is usually very, very positive, so definitely good to see that, seeing the right sort of stuff being made and produced at the moment. As we continue on by. There's the hydrogen coming into play as well, so bring that hydrogen straight up. These Marines are going to get a little bit of a stim off. Sit right in that corner, and being in this corner, as you can already see, is having some serious benefits. My goodness, that is some work, and we are going to get rid of this hatchery on the back end of it as well, so it's even better than initially seemed. That is going to be pretty darn good. That is a good trade, to say the least. Gonna see these Hellions still trying to get a few drones as well, so beyond definitely just out multitasking Silky at this current point in time, having a very good go of just again applying a lot of pressure, having a successful time of it, and things looking, like I say, very good so far. With the Hydras out, you do stabilize a little bit here as the Zerg player, but The damage is already really done on the side of the Terran, so we're already in a very solid place at this point in time. He's already got to be feeling pretty good at the moment. Marines in the tank just going to come around as well, ready to push this position once again. We've denied this base. We want to keep denying it and try and just make it so difficult to take. We are expanded to the top left as well for 5th at the same time, so there's at least some small benefits being made right now, but still not exactly feeling ideal. As the Marines step up, I'm sure it will take damage. It's not even really close to being competitive at the moment. Not really close to being competitive. Hatch goes down, the Hider's going to get jumped on, the Marines continue to work their way in. We get a few more drones that are just going to die. I mean, the Marines just shredding. They don't even have +2 attack just yet, which is kind of amusing considering the situation, I guess. It's just not looking good at all on the side of our Zerg player. Silky is in a world of trouble. Marines going to stand again. A couple of Banes do get through, connecting at least towards the end of this. Is nice. I'm just going to see the +3 armor, +2 attack. I mean, +2 attack actually finishing right now is going to be big. We actually got a cancel on this hatchery, not a kill. So still be able to quickly recognize that that was going to be troublesome for him. Marines just pulling back on the way. A few more Marines unloading. Laying Hydra Bane. Continuing to get absolutely smacked around by the siege tanks. This one's kind of done, guys. There's another massive Terran army from the upper left-hand side that's already moving along. What kind of mismatch is this? Bjorn just had a very good game. And it was always a step ahead. It's so hard to break the momentum of your opponent if you're playing from behind already. But I think that's kind of the case here. Especially, I think Silky is actually a player who a lot of the time plays very well from controlling the game, but it's so difficult to get into a controlling position early, I think is a big part of the problem. Big part of the problem. I mean, at this point, you know, it looks really bad because of just how far ahead Bjorn is as well. So I see news return to SE2, yeah. Very cool news. Very cool news. He's, I mean, Neeb playing games is always going to be a cool thing. I mean, Neeb's a good player. He was always one of the best. I think Neeb playing StarCraft is always going to be a big plus, so I'm excited to see how good he is. Obviously, we still went the Doyu Cup, where he actually looked very good in a lot of his games at the Doyu Cup. I thought he was very impressive. He played from behind a couple times, and when he was playing from behind, he looked really good, which I think is always a very good sign. So, yeah, I'm very excited to see some Neeb, but I just hate the narrative around everything at the moment. It's like Neeb returns, and like the narrative is not even excitement. It's like, see, I told you guys, Blizzard are saving the game with this patch, and it's like, what? Like what? Like, please don't hit me with this brain rot, you know? Please don't hit me with this brain rot. By the way, I'm kind of glad we didn't go into Percival Classic, because Percival Classic is finished, by the way. 2-0, so that must have been like 6-minute games back to back. So I actually think we're in probably the best section of the bracket right now, considering just how quick that first round seemingly went off. Let's head into gear number 2. It's the frustrating patch. I think it's just frustrating. I mean, I think this works both ways. Like, I mean, it's tough because there is genuine evidence that since the patch, less people are playing. And I think this is very, you know, the numbers don't lie. There are less people playing. And obviously you can say, well, it's summer, but the summer doesn't usually have this much of a drop-off, for example, etc. So we've got actual evidence less people are playing. But then one pro returns. Never mind the fact that multiple pros have actually stopped playing since the patches. At least a significant amount compared to what they were playing before. So a lot of people have just stopped. And then one guy comes back and the narrative is immediately shifting to like, see, the game is saved. It's like, no one's going to get anywhere with any of these arguments. Like, we actually need the community to stop fucking around and come together and realize a bit of what's going on so we can actually maybe have some sort of a sway and a push and be like, hey, look, this is a problem. We need this fixed and stuff. It's, yeah. Also, of all the players to make a return, I don't have any belief that a Protoss player right now looks at the game and thinks, you know what a great time, what a great state of the game to come back to. But, like, there's not one Protoss player who's looking at this current patch and thinking, man, this is it. This is my chance to make some quick money in StarCraft 2 again. I mean, classic losers in these cups faster than ever before, and he's instantly offline. He's not trying to, you know, sometimes people lose and they go into the ladder games and stuff, right? Classic right now is losing and he's insta quitting into Brood War. It's like, this never used to be the thing. He's also one of the guys where he quits out, he goes into the ladder game like everyone else, but not right now. Classic's just like, I don't want anything to do with this, man. Play the tournament, the moment is done, I'm out of here. It's not a good look at the moment for StarCraft, sadly. But we're due a patch soon, surely. So based on the, you know, the recent updates, we're due a patch. So maybe they'll do something. I think it's Protoss's turn to get a buff. So what I'm thinking, guys, is that you move the shield battery to the gateway. You might think, what do you mean move the shield battery? You make it a unit. And so now you can warp in shield batteries across the map and they can walk into the fights with you. I think this is going to innovate the Protoss players again. I think this is going to give them what they need to see success. I like it. I want to see batteries waddling into battle. Yeah. This is a one baser from Silky. I'm not really talking about this game, we're just yapping on. Next is 300 minerals. Or, okay, I've actually been thinking about this too, or you half the build time of the probes. Right? Because if you think about it, Chrono Boost tries to achieve faster building units anyway. So if Chrono Boost is not doing enough to help Protoss out, maybe we should help Chrono Boost by halving the build time of probes. Think about it. Roach, Ravage is going to fight a couple of Hellions. Setting up that round. As Ravager morphs in, obviously this is a one base from Silky, so Bjorn is allowed to take a bunch of damage as long as he eventually cleans up. I was going to say, he really needs to get that Roach to the front that was morphing. The Overlord's a massive kill as well, because that removes high ground vision, and if there's no high ground vision, you're in a lot more trouble. The Roach is going to sacrifice itself to the mine. Doesn't go down. I thought we were going to have enough damage from the Marines to kill it off after the mine hit, though. So, that was my belief. Didn't actually quite happen. We've seen the Roach and the Ravager still pushing through. Bjorn lost a lot here, man. Like, I mean, he's going to get some units to the bunkers. Obviously, he loses a ton of SCVs. He's still kind of okay, though. I mean, again, you look at the numbers, and right now he's kind of fine. We're gaming a little bit. We are gaming a little bit. Obviously, you get contained at this point, so the contain is an interesting part of this as well. You kind of get stopped for a little while. Let's see how this goes. As you can see, the bunker does fall. Cyclone is super important now. We need this Cyclone to help us out. Without this Cyclone, we might actually just be dead. Cyclone pops. There's some low HP Ravages you can get rid of very quickly and easily. That's obviously going to be a big priority if possible. Both SCVs go down. Beyond's supply is not looking good. I think, honestly, Beyond was a bit too reckless already. I think the way he chased the units so far, I actually think it was a bit too reckless of him, and I think he's already paying the price of that a little bit right now. As these Ravages in the main base. What's funny is that if he still completely cleans up, he's probably still fine, because that's just how all-in and terrible this build. I say terrible. It's not terrible, but like, you see how much damage is done, and Bjorn is still going to survive through it. You know, he's still ahead on workers after this. Like, this build needs so much to work. Like, it's a kill build. It's not like it can't just back away and be like, okay, we did some damage, let's fall back. Like, it has to kill, and it has unfortunately so far here absolutely not killed. And that's going to leave you in a little bit of a tough spot now as the Zerg player. Cyclone coming about. It's going to gather here for a couple seconds. Ravager's going to come back over. I mean, again, Bjorn has to just keep on defending. He's got a 3rd CC, by the way. Yeah. He's got a 3rd CC, so what does it even matter? He's going to be absolutely fine. I'd say it's silly. It's not really silly. It's like, this is how it works. Like, again, you're super committed as Silky. Bjorn is, all he has to do is survive, and he's absolutely surviving, so it seems fine for him. Yeah. It's going to be seeing the little lock on for a couple of moments. And that is going to be Beyond taking the 2-0. GG's. Well played. He will play Lambo in the next round, which is what we are going to follow into, I believe. So we'll get into Beyond Lambo in just a few moments, my friends. Yeah, Beyond Lambo. Percival's waiting for herO or Nightmare in the semi-finals. Shin and Zaun are playing in the quarters, and Beyond Lambo play in the quarters as well. So we'll get ready for Beyond versus Lambo. I mean, Silky tried something different. He obviously did not do well in the longer kind of macro game, right? So should give Colossus Revelation. Oh, I love it. Yeah, let's give Colossus Revelation, guys. Good thinking. I'm so glad we have YouTube chat. YouTube chat has the best ideas. Not like Twitch chat. Twitch chat would be like, wow, we should give +1 damage to the +1 damage to a zealot. YouTube chat have it right. Give the Colossus Revelation. I actually think we should be able to upgrade the Colossus to the the Mothership Colossus. The Mothership Colossus. So each Colossus grows a Mothership core on its head, and it gets all of the old Mothership core abilities. I think it works really well. The design's basically already there. The name works brilliantly. And it really integrates into the idea of Protoss once again being these like big giga units. And none of this like nonsense of like Zealots and Stalkers and stuff. Like, you just have like 4 Mothership Colossus, and they just walk around. Maybe like 3 Zealots can make a human pyramid, and the Mothership Colossus can make that have overcharge. So you have like mobile like overcharges. Instead of like pylon overcharge, you have human pyramid overcharges. Oh, say, so it seems like Lambo. It seems like Lambo quit. I see. I thought Bjorn was saying he had to leave. I think Lambo can't play. Okay, guys. Well, we'll take a couple moments just get this figured out very shortly. At least hopefully very shortly we can try and get this figured out or so. Okay, Lambo forfeits, guys. So no Lambo, which means Bjorn advances through, which means it's going to be either Bjorn versus SHIN or Zaun, or Percival versus herO or Nightmare. So that's what we are going to be heading toward. Alright, that means we just have to wait. What's happening on the other streams? No one's in game over there. Where's the new stream, man? Any is live. Hang on. Trying to see who. I think we've got someone in game with SHIN and Zaun. So if you give me a second, I can at least put that on the screen for you guys. Get that started up. Alright, SHIN is up a game against Zaun, guys. Let me bring this over. So this is obviously going to have no game sound. This is from the Korean stream, but SHIN is up 1 over Zaun. So we'll join in here. And man, there's going to be a speed in Kung Fu Cup. Like we're going to be in the semi-finals after like an hour today, apparently. Like today is fast. Today is fast. Few depths show up from Zaun as SHIN is playing against double Stargate Void Rays. Void Rays are still seemingly the build of choice for a lot of the Protoss. I mean, we've not really seen Protoss make ground toss work super effectively a lot of the time still, so it's definitely still felt a little bit rough. You can see those few Lings coming around, a couple of Voids in the Adept gathering, Hide Den, Lings in the missile upgrade coming up as well. As we take a few moments. The Void Rays going to come, one of them at least across the map, to try and see a little bit of what's going on, see if we can make something happen here already. Things going to go on a big rush up towards the top side of the map, trying to see what's going on. So again, a little bit of movement over there just to start us off. Get moving initially. The Lings obviously threaten the counterattack, which means that you do actually have to respect this a little bit at the very least. Queens are going to be joined up with Hydra's mothership is building. Is it going to get out in time before? I mean, is SHIN going to push 69 drones? He could. He doesn't have Hydra speeds. I guess that takes away the likelihood of him pushing, though. 4 Infestors, the few Queens coming up. Just gonna see that Void and the Mothership coming over. Does anyone know why Lambo forfeited? Yeah, I think he was waiting on someone to potentially come and do work on his house or something, and they've messaged and they're coming like earlier than expected or something, so he can't play anymore. I believe is the deal. Wait, what am I getting invited to? Oh, we've got herO Percival in the semi-finals already. Okay, we'll go herO Percival semi-final, guys. Obviously, SHIN and Zan will keep playing. Like I said, today is fast. Fast. Alrighty, guys, we are gonna get this ready to go. Alright, we're in the lobby, so I presume we're gonna go. Give me a note if I closed my thing and nothing's gonna come of it. What's up, Kari Warrior? How you doing? Hello. Yeah, we're in the lobby, but apparently we're... Let me, what season it is in the UK? Summer? But it's a British summer, you know, so... It's just slightly less miserable than the rest of the year. Apparently in just 1 second we're waiting. I don't mind if they're not starting, I just want to know, so if they're not going to start until the other game finishes, I can bring the other game back on the screen, but I don't know right now. Alright, apparently we're allowed to go. And go gets called. And we jump into herO vs Percival semi-finals. Man, today is... Like, today's just spamming on by. It's so quick so far. So quick. Let's hope herO Percival gives us some action. herO has definitely been trying a whole bunch of things in the PvT. Will that be enough to take on Percival today? We're about to find out. In the top left side, our blue Terran players Percival. I'm on an observer. I was expecting them to start introing, but there we go. Percival. And the bottom right, herO. Now red, Protoss. Cracks coming up, gate coming up. Got settled here for the moment. Just going to be seeing the SCV coming around the left-hand side. Again, Rex and the gas going through. Gate, the pile on the assembly coming up. Probe is just continuing to build along at the moment. Just having our engineering bay drop down. Getting that barracks built up. The SCV is on its way in. Give me that engineering bay block, and yet herO doesn't care because he's straight up proxying. But now the SCV goes up and sees it, so you actually get the scout information that you need. So you know it's a proxy on the map, and that means that you can play around it. Back at home, Percival begins to get set. I see that Reaper firing a few shots off, a few hits coming through. The Zealot's just going to go down, so this is going to be a decent defense from Percival so far. Just shuts down that first Zealot, has a full wall off. He's going to expand in the main. So I think he's kind of feeling pretty fine about how this proxy gate has gone thus far. Reaper is going to continue to go for some probes, especially because the Stalker had to come from the other side of the map, so it's a nice way to make sure that nothing else is really going to happen from this here. Just seeing that couple probes again going down already. See the Stalker trying to poke up, not quite going to find too much of a chance to do anything further just yet, so holding back a little bit. The bunker is going to salvage up. Salvage, just going to be having again the Twilight Council, a couple probes, and the Zealots continue to produce through as well. Just having the Stalkers and Sentries is going to actually keep the pressure up as well, so they're going to get in for a little bit extra here, and actually going to see the Marines trying to step through. The Cyclone's great, going to lock onto that Sentry, and the Command Center is giving you the vision. The Sentry with the energy is the one that went down as well, so that's kind of a big deal, because now you don't have the force field to keep these units away from you, and so you end up in a little bit of a worse spot than you might have been otherwise. So that works pretty decently so far. You're seeing the few Marines are still going to push on through. And the Stalkers have gone up into the high ground though, and Percival, is he actually just going to run out of... Oh, yeah. I keep feeling like this Colossus is real and is actually doing something. Obviously it is really not. It's just chilling. And then Stalker's going to try and fight. Percival trying to pull off the defense here. Down about 8 workers at the moment. You see 5 SCVs go down. I mean, is this tank going to be enough to actually get us to stabilize a little bit? Would be nice if we could. And charges on the way through. A couple of Zealots continue up as well at the moment, so again bringing this along to this next phase. Ourselves herO just sitting outside the natural of the Terran play. He's actually pushing forward again already, so maybe even looking to get something done there. As the bunker is set up, though, I don't think you can go through, although maybe with charge you do just have enough power to kind of send this. Maybe there is just then something of a possibility. There we go. Bunker goes down pretty quickly. 2 siege tanks to help us out. Siege tanks don't exactly love going up against the zealots, though. Obviously, they would love to be able to target fire the stalkers, which they're definitely trying to do to a reasonable amount of success, I would say. So I was just going to get here. I mean, we have killed some works on the other side of the map, but I just don't think that's going to be enough to undo the happenings that are going on otherwise. Yeah, that Liberate Siege dub wasn't the problem. I mean, the probes aren't mine at least, so it is something. Can we defend against these zealots in the end, or is this a lost cause, unfortunately? And perhaps another tank shot, a few more zealots taking some hits once again here, a few more shots coming out. It just feels like it's too much. Hero just about having enough to keep this going, keep it favorable in his position. I'm looking to bring this through to a victory as he will take a 1-0 lead in this semi-final matchup. Found the way to be overpowering. Okay, I mean, it's kind of just to continue pressure a little bit as well, obviously, that came to bite you there as the Terran player. Now having a couple of Vikings landed, the few zealots are going to step back for a couple moments. Zealots coming in for another round of this. Away we go. Damage to be done. Easy 4 straight on in. Just going to see the Zealots going to overwhelm. Percival's never going to be able to get enough up based on the way that this matchup all started out. And herO is going to fight his way through to what seems to be victory. The Zealots continue to be around, continue to settle for a couple of moments. Still just going to slice and dice their way into these Marines. Trying to get a couple more of these Marines going down. I mean, Percival is not giving up without every last bit of fight that he can potentially bring. But it is going to be herO to take the 1-0 lead in this series. So herO starts off strong. 2 coming up very soon. Alrighty guys, I'm waiting for this lobby to come online, which it's doing right now. Do you have an update elsewhere? No, SHIN and SHIN still playing whenever that does take on Beyond. Cool. Cool. I say we lobby bugged, but we have not. As we head into washout, let's get this underway. In the top right hand corner, our blue Terran player is going to be Percival. He is going to be down a map and looking to fight back. 2-0 classic in the previous round, so he had something going for him in the TVP. It was not found in that first game against herO, who took control and got the Zealots in to overwhelm and end up with the 1-0 advantage. Final comes in, SCV in the depot coming up, and we get ourselves a game 2. Going without a proxy gateway, which is some good signs. Again, Rax and the gas just going to come down for a couple of moments, bringing that through straight away. And it's going to have the Rex and the SCV continue to gather up. The first Reaper is on the way out. Like I said, it's going to be a little bit more of a normal starting point this time around. Next it comes down onto the natural. Again, Reaper, Orbital, the factory, all coming up and into play. Cybercore, Nexus, and Afro will be coming through too. Is going to be on the map. The probe is scouting as well, so here we're just trying to figure out what is going on. Our reactor going to be finishing the barracks as well, so we will see some reactoring gameplay going through, it seems, for now on the side of our Terran player. Gets the marine count nice and high. We are going to build some widow mines during this process, and the starport's coming up, so we might see that even coming into play here very soon as well. Reaper has international. A grenade goes down. A few probes already getting blasted back. The robot facility coming along. Stalker and the Walker continue to come up as well. Just take a few more moments here at the moment. Stalker is in position. Just going to have ourselves the Reaper denied. Obviously, we'd like to pick up more info. We'd like to see what's going on if possible. Yeah, a couple men coming up, and the Viking and a couple more Marines are building through as well. So I see this medevac coming around that left-hand side. Just going to come across for the moment, see what we can get to, see what we can find for ourselves. Pushing over into position. A couple of shots coming off. The widow mines are going to be right there. Have the Raven on the way up. We killed 2 probes, which is reasonable. Nothing too crazy just at the moment, though. Still a very respectable position as we just have. As well has the medevac alive, and that's one of the main things. If you still have this medevac alive, there's still a lot of good you can do for yourself. in the near future. So expecting that to be a fairly major factor. Marines, the tank and the Viking are going to step forward. The couple Stalkers already being chased back. The Immortal stepping forward as well. You can see these Stalkers actually doing very well. The tank can try and siege the Stalkers to get it early. Oh, they were just a little bit too late to actually commit to it. A little bit sooner, they actually may have been able to just click on that and have had a very, very good time there. It could have been pretty dooming. It's not turned out to be that way though. Just have our Stalkers now in the main base, but the Viking will get rid of the Prism, so as long as we can get rid of these Stalkers at all, this is pretty good for you. We're going to get rid of a couple of those Stalkers. Obviously the recall is the only escape you can have, so you have to drop that recall down there as well. So the recall did come down. Matter of fact, going to take some shots once more. A few more hits coming through. Forge and the Twilight Council both building up. Got the charge, got the +1 upgrade. Building in a couple of extra zealots coming online as well. Sami's now moving across Percival, looking for his chance to counterattack, believing that he maybe defended well enough to give himself the shot at having some success here. Let's see if that's going to be true or not as we get this up and into position. The tanks are going to be there in just a second. A few more units gather about. Just going to take position for a few seconds. Do see the tanks continue to push on forward. herO being patient because he definitely knows that the moment he gets to charge, this is going to be better for him, right? So he begins to get towards that charge upgrade. It's going to be done in a sec. Percival seemingly figuring out the timing, or just about. He's moving away, so he's kind of doing the right thing. He's disengaging from this fight just before his opponent gets the strength of this setup in his favor with the charge lots. Just might have been a little bit too late, unfortunately. Which is, like I say, actually very sad because we were very close to being able to do this just a couple moments sooner. We wouldn't have lost as much. We still don't even lose that much. But herO has chased you across, and you're not quite going to be in position now to continue handling this. So actually it does become a little awkward. We just get dove on. That seems very good. Very, very good for herO. There's going to be some pretty serious damage already dealt. Puzzle's just going to die. It's not been the most exhilarating of days so far, guys. As unfortunate as that sometimes is to say. Sometimes there is some truth in that, and this one has been kind of just quick game after quick game. We've yet to really seen like a banger of a matchup, or so as we typically like to call them. GG's herO 2-0. Is there an update on the other bracket? Yep. SHIN actually did go to Game 3 against Sound, but did win out in that Game 3, so he will play Beyond. SHIN versus Beyond in our second semi-final. Man, we are an hour and 25 minutes in, and semi-final 2 is about to start. This is what they call a speed run, my friends. This is what they call the speed run. Crazy business. I'm not complaining. It's freaking hot today. It's not a bad day if I get to finish a bit early. I really want to check out Zero Space, but I'm just... It got really warm in the... I say really warm. It's like warmer again. And because it's warmer again, I'm just like... My intent to like learn something is like rock bottom. Go in this lobby. I'll be ready to go into Beyond SHIN. Taking a moment, we should be good to go. Players are readying up. We should be able to send into this in a second, guys. So Beyond versus Shin, the winner will play herO in the finals. That is already decided. Let's see who takes down today's Kung Fu Cup. Let's see what the finals are going to be. We're guaranteed a non-mirror final, so we got that going for us, if nothing else. That's definitely good news. And we have Lobby Bugged. Love that for us as well. We will just take a second then, guys. Try and get into this again. Hopefully Beyond Shin will be a banger. Yeah, I mean, that would be ideal, wouldn't it? That would be, as they call it, the dream. Yeah, that would be very good. Very, very good. Beyond Shin actually do usually play some very good matches. I have belief. I have belief. Counting down, ready to go in a second. This time the load screen has succeeded for us. Let's start us off on Sanctuary, my friends. Let's do it. You're watching the Kung Fu Cup with me, Wardy, here on WardiTV. If you're enjoying the stream, don't forget you can follow, like, subscribe. We are getting very close to the 50,000 subscriber mark on the YouTube. So very exciting. We've been working on that for literally years, so give us a like and a sub on the YouTube if you don't already. We appreciate it. Shin in that bottom left, Beyond in that upper right. And get this started and get this ready to go. I should have anyone here as well. He's my observer camera of choice. Steal it. Love it. It's going to be double racks. Beyond's been 2-rax reapering kind of a lot, actually. Interesting to see. As that Overlord just comes across, moving over to the sides. There's the racks. Number 2 coming online. It's pull first from Shin, which means that he's actually going to be able to really shut this down pretty hard from Beyond. And it's going to put Beyond in a little bit of an awkward position for sure. I have the Reaper hopping down. Second Reaper is coming across. So a couple of Reapers are coming over for the moment. And yeah, I'm just going to be having 3 of those in total. We'll see if he goes beyond the 3 or not. Take a couple seconds. Again, those Reapers continue to come over for a few moments. Get settled here. Just show up. And Queen gonna take some down. Just gonna push that Queen back. A lot of Lings, and Ling Speed's going to finish very soon, so Beyond's not going to be able to stick around for a very long time at all. He's going to have to back it up, give this a bit of space. And Reapers will head to that upper right side. Again, Bane Nest coming through. The Zerglings coming over. Overlord as well. Producing right now. Just going to have the Reapers sitting behind. The Overlord is stepping across. This reactor is about to finish. Our CC will be done in a moment. And again, those few Reapers just hanging about at the moment. Marine is going to get underneath. Overlord already being chased away. Factory off the tech lab moves over to the side. Again, we've got the stim pack coming up on the racks as well. Marines will step up and that Overlord is going to get taken out. The Banes are here, so the Bane counterattack from SHIN. The problem is once that first wall goes down, you can see the issue is you have access to the Bane. Good target fire on Baneling 1 and Baneling 2. Neither of those Banes get to go off here. I would have preferred new Banes to morph from the low ground because they might actually get to come online. Now the Banes morphing on the high ground get cancelled. We've got to kill Banelings before they connect. You can't allow the splash damage to come through here. It's just going to be way too much, especially when you're using SCVs as a big part of your defense. Going to cancel another Baneling that's morphing in. Now the SCV is starting to just fight up. There's one Baneling to that right side that will finish. Has to wander forward. Bjorn, walks his SCVs into it. He'd been doing a great job defending thus far, but that is going to be a failing moment for him, unfortunately. Banshee and the stim still coming up. A couple more SCVs coming through. We've got those extra drones on the way from SHIN right now. So building those into place again. Stim, the Banshees still coming in. Healings trying to push on forward. The Marines are going to be there. Man, I mean, this was a fine defense of Bjorn, though, because he's still on 2 bases. He's got Stim nearly done. SHIN is a 2-base Zerg player who's only 8 workers ahead. It will be a little bit more ahead now with more drones finishing, but I don't necessarily think this was actually enough right now. Banshee gets a few more shots off. Again, the Marines will build. Combat shield coming up. This would, if he didn't walk into that final, Baneling, and he saved like 5 more SCVs, this wouldn't even be a competition, I think. I think Bjorn just waltzes through the game, but I think at least now it's competitive. A 10-worker lead for the Zerg seems okay, but they are behind the hatchery. Like I say, that's definitely something to think on. And she comes around the bottom left. Drones, Queen, Overlord, all producing through. Just gonna have that combat shield about halfway done right now as well. Banshee's gonna get around the bottom side, so also gonna make a move for a few moments. Going to see a couple Banshees firing. Drone's taking damage. Queen's taking damage. Another drone gets caught. Queen goes down. We lose one Banshee, unfortunately. You can see this Banshee coming back through again. Every drone you get right now slows the Zerg a little bit. We're going to try and get to that Spire. These have been very popular recently. There's that Queen Gatherer up. Just going to nibble at this hatchery. The Marines get underneath for the Overlord already. Picking that off as well. These Marines still just stepping through. This hatchery is going to go down. There goes the Queen. There goes this next Overlord. A few Banelings already getting picked at. And not in trouble yet. The Marines keep pushing through this, and you can see Bjorn supply is massive. It's going to take a couple of good Baneling connections for SHIN to save himself in this position. As these Marines stim into the natural, just going to see the Ling Bane starting to stream through. The Marines load back into the medevacs, going to pull away to the right side. No third hatch still from SHIN. Another Overlord going down. He just got unsupply blocked, and he's going to be supply blocked again. He didn't even get unsupply blocked because he finished an Overlord. He got unsupply blocked because he lost units. At least now he had Overlords on the way up, so they start to come through as well. Bane's unloading once more. Just going to see those Banes starting to crash forward. The Zerglings gather up. Medevac's going to gather More of those Banes going to try and roll on through. Mutas and Queens continue to come online here. The attack upgrade continues to produce. Well, at least now we're going to get Mutas out of SHIN, which is something. At least we've got something that could maybe give us a chance at kind of counterattacking or doing work elsewhere. Feels mildly more hopeful than anything else. And the tank still gathering the Banes as well. +1 flyer attack upgrade coming through. The Lings coming up as well. As we try and get SHIN with enough stuff to get across the map and to truly do some serious damage here. Mutas, Lings working their way around the right. Medevac. Gonna go down. I mean, that's nice, but what about the fact that your entire army's across the map? Okay, he's actually got some Banes in the natural. Well, actually, Bjorn's entire army's across the map, so maybe Bjorn's the one in some trouble here. Okay. He's gonna lose the barracks soon. Medevac loads the tank, wants to put it in a position next to the turret so he can repair it and help to push the Lings away. SCV repair. Not enough. Didn't get enough for surround, wasn't preemptive enough. However, the Marines show up from the other side, so the wall is held. And then obviously that becomes expensive for SHIN, because he just lost all of his Lings. Now the Muta count is not exactly great either. SHIN continues to sit in a bunch of trouble right now here in this opening game of semi-final 2. Marines, Medevac's tank continue to come across. The Lings are going to gather up underneath. Marines will just step forward again. Hatchery going to take some more damage. Just going to be seeing the Mutas and the Banes coming back over. Just going to get ready to go in once more here, crashing into a few of these Marines. Siege tank taking some damage as well, but it's not enough. We have Marines left over. The Lings go down, then the Mutas are not exactly going to fare well. These are also +1 attack upgrade Marines, so they do good damage. And even if we push this back, the Medevacs... Well, Medevacs may not survive, although it's not a massive amount of Mutas that chase them. Reinforcements are stemming through. The thing is that each wave of this right now from Bjorn just gets worse and worse for SHIN to deal with. Like, it just becomes tougher and tougher for SHIN to actually handle this. He is back up toward the top side again. Marines, tanks, reactors in the engineering bay coming up as well. A couple more Marines get taken out already. Missile turret with a few shots. Mutas still getting pushed back, trying to find some value at least. We get cancellation or a kill on a reactor, which is something, but again, it's a very minor thing. As Bjorn establishes base 3. SHIN drones gonna set up his own third base economy. Can't imagine it's going to be long before Bjorn moves again, though. I mean, if he gets a turret up on this base, do we not just move out one more time? And start pushing into a Zerg, who again has struggled to have enough stuff throughout this. Just trying to find a little extra. The Marines stem in from that right side, a few Marines up from the top. Just going to fight on through again. A couple of Mutas getting chased away. Missile turret hits nicely as well. A couple more of those Mutas go down. The melee upgrade, the carapace upgrade continue to come by. +2 flyer attack. On its way on the Spire. This hatchery is still low, so if we get there with any serious amount of units, it could be an issue. Again, still playing with the tanks, which is... Usually you play mines against the Mutas, right? But... He has these tanks from before. He's now double expanding, by the way. 2 CCs coming up at the same time, which feels completely unnecessary. Another Ling Dane going to come across, just going to go moving through. We are going to be seeing this hatchery, like I say, if you get here for any amount of time, it's going to go down. Tanks will try and target down some Banes. Mutas from the other side. Extra Marines have just shown up, and we don't have the Banelings left over. Again, this has been a losing fight for a pretty significant amount of time. I think this is very fair to say. GG's. Bjorn takes game number 1 of this best of 3, and SHIN will try to look again in game 2 in just a moment. Yeah, obviously, a game that, like I say, was pretty heavily decided early, I think. Not much else to add on that one. At Eternity's Edge going to be our second map. What was the supply block time for SHIN? 47 seconds for Bjorn. 1 minute 40. Wasn't actually that crazy. Funny that Bjorn was supply buff for even longer. I guess. Well, not really anything actually. Yeah. StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Command Center. Command Center's good, man. Command centers are good. I think they should have mule tax. Every time you drop a mule, it costs you 50 gas. But to make it not completely useless, we'll also let you build the mule manually from the command center twice as quickly as an SCV instead. And then it only costs, it doesn't cost you anything, just the energy still. I think we're onto something, guys. I think we're onto something. Just saying. Then, because then it's a choice, you know? What's up, Apocalypse? How you doing? Did I order the miniature game? Thank you, first of all, for 12-month resub on the Prime. Did I order the miniature game? No. I just have no interest in figuring out how to paint it, I guess. Realistically. I'm gonna sell this on the way, see what's going on. And obviously up a map in this series after that first game was pretty dominant from him. It's going to be early gas pool from SHIN, though, so he's going to get very aggressive very early. Bjorn not going to multi-Rax Reaper, though, so there's a little bit of a difference there compared to perhaps expectation. He's going to be seeing the Reaper and the Orbital both continuing to come online, hatching the pool. Coming over as well. Let's just continue to get that up and running for a little bit. Where will we go? Link speed already on its way out, so it's going to be one of our main parts that we look at here at the moment. See a bit of what's going on. Just going to be seeing this Queen, going to hit the Reaper, just going to push that around for a few moments as well, so getting some damage done. And this Reaper, obviously trying to get a scout off and seeing exactly what's going on. This fast link speed from SHIN, like I say, is not likely going to do too much, considering the way that this has gone. You can see that Reaper coming back through again for a couple seconds. You can see the orbital morphing in as well. few things to look on the map. This Reaper obviously can't really be here. And we are going to see the Lings chasing that down. So the Reaper tries to get away. A couple of depots raised, and the Barrack will obviously just hold the wall. For the moment, no problems. And pretty reasonable still. And he's actually able to push back a few of those Lings, which is nice as well. So coming through nicely there at the moment. There's going to be that Carapace upgrade coming in off the Evo chamber, so you bring that through 2 for just a couple of seconds. Continue along with this right now. Next time, and Combat Shield both on the way from Bjorn again. So much 3 racks opening, so many 3 racks openings and setups lately. It's really kind of crazy just how many of that, how much of that we're continuing to see. Impact, Combat Shield both coming up. That factory on the way through. A few more Marines are coming about as well. Let's continue to bring that into place at the moment. Again, Combat Shield and that Stimpack both building online, just going to get that up and running. And we need to see what comes next. There's a lot of Marines already over on this side of the map as well, so they are going to get pretty feisty pretty quickly. Going straight through, the Lings there are going to be able to get this surrounded with the Queen damage output. It's going to be more than enough to be pushing this away, so for now, that is going to be a solid defense. The Lings and the Queens get the job done. And Group Spread will push back out over that right-hand side for the moment. So again, getting back over in that direction. Very solid right now. Just going to have the 1-1 upgrade still coming through as well. Continue to bring this into place. You see the Marines are going to be able to defend. Is a bit of aggression trying to come through on the side of SHIN on this other side. He's going to start getting his 4th base in the position too, so he gets that 4th patch on the way. Beyond already on the 3 bases, already building the 4th as well. Again, the speed at which we expand at the moment is pretty crazy. It really is just non-stop, just base action from the Terrans. Like, in some ways, I'm still like surprised just how much of an impact it has on people building CCs, dropping the cost by 100. But then, I don't know why I'm surprised. StarCraft 2 is a game with very small margins, and you change the cost of something by, like, make it so much cheaper. Like, of course, it's going to be significantly used. And the Terrans really have not messed around. They are just going non-stop with their setups and everything. So, yeah, it has been pretty crazy to see, like I say, how much this command center cost has impacted the process and the process and so on. So yeah, a few SCVs going down and some of the counterattacks do hit at the moment, so finding some value at least. A couple of Banes is going to crash through for the depots there as well, so just going to see a little bit more success for a moment or two. building off of that reactor factory, so you are going to get a fair amount of mines going. It's going to be a lot of mines, actually, that we're going to be able to work with overall, so the mine count building up here. Get that on the way. Actually, nearly lose a ton of SCVs, but we just about managed to sustain through without losing too much. That obviously could have been very, very bad, so pretty nice that we do keep ourselves alive and kicking on that one, because, like I say, that could have been a big, big problem compared to what it actually turned out to be. Going for another round of attempts. Here we go. Coming straight through. Marines are going to be big stimming back towards us. We've got to be careful if those Banes turn around to try and get you, though. You go very wrong very quickly if you're not cautious, as the Banes do come around now. The Marine count is still great, though. We are keeping this alive. Minus 10 SCVs, all that's left off. The only scary part is that these are actually Hydras as well, right? So the Hydras can do a lot of work towards kind of knocking down the orbital as it flies away. And it looks as though that's actually going to be enough. For a while, it actually looks as though we're still going to be fine as Bjorn, but just not enough units in the end. And SHIN brings us back and takes us to a game 3, which is very exciting. Oh, it's a big, exciting one for sure. Alright, guys. We will kick off in a couple of moments and get this ready to go. For our game 3 to come about. I missed the Balin Burrow. It's the price of life, guys. It's not easy to catch everything. It ain't easy. Hudson Temple coming up for game 3. Second 2-1 of the day. I just take games at this point. Like, it's been so fast. It's been so speedy. Countdown into Bjorn versus SHIN. This third map is on its way. This started on up. As we have got in the bottom left-hand side, the blue Zerg player tying this series, it is going to be SHIN up against our red Terran in the top right corner of the map, Bjorn. Forward we'll move as we can get ourselves settled for this one. As he comes over, extractor on the way up initially, bring that into position. Getting that all on the go. Going to be that's pulling the gas early in the game from SHIN. This time it's going to be CC first from Bjorn though, so we'll see if that's something we can actually then do something about here from SHIN's perspective. Drone transfers over, getting ready to pop the hatchery down. Rax is joining up. The CC going to be there. That comes up in the natural. Get that straight into place. Cross spawns on Odds and Temple. I feel like we've been, last couple of days we've had a lot of cross spawns at Odds and Temple. Obviously you can hit cross or horizontal spawns, so... bring that about. And a couple of SCVs coming around. We take a second or two. Just have ourselves a few more moments of building here. Drop down the Evo chamber over on the corners. Just going to put that in position as well. And the feelings continue over to the other side. Trying to see what's going on for a couple of moments. Just going to see the SCVs mining away also. There are 5 SCVs with these lings, but that's going to be about it. So obviously this was a commitment from SHIN as well to be able to get there initially. Again, Stimpack and Combat Shield both continue to come around. The drones and the Carapace upgrade coming through as well. Bringing that into place at the moment. Marines just gather back around. Just going to be moving over again. Just going to be having the melee and Carapace upgrades continue to come up as well. Good amount of Marines now from Bjorn again. It's so weird to see TVZ where the Terrans have just given up on these Hellions. Like, I never thought I'd see the day where, like, Hellions are such a afterthought of the matchup, you know? I'm gonna get a couple more kills at the moment. This is going to get that. This Overlord does go down. So got the melee upgrade coming through. Land the Overlords and the Lings continue to come by as well. Again, Ling's on the way up. The Bane Nest going through. Melee upgrade and +2 Carapace upgrade coming by also. One upgrade still building by. The couple of Medivacs on the way in at the moment. Got a missile and carapace upgrades coming in. Obviously, these carapace upgrades are cheaper. We see those first a lot, especially against this marine heavy meta. And that's why SHIN has it, as now goes and joins up with the missile, so he's going to be powering up the Hydras. He also has the melee upgrade already, as he opened with the Ling Bane, so he's got Ling Bane, Hydra all settling. Bjorn already pushing forward, a little bit of supply lead, but there's a counter-attack onto Bjorn's third. That will take some chances to deal some damage as well, more than likely. There's a few Lings hit over there, a couple SCVs already begin to go down. I'm just going to wrap around a few Marines and the SCVs. Having to play defense. On the other side, Bjorn stopped moving forward, so he stopped and did not commit through. Which makes, I think, a lot of sense, just taking a little bit easy. I'm just going to try and get back to the top side. Woodermine shot good for a couple Zerglings once again. A few Lings turn back around. Just going to be seeing another Woodermine going down. The Orbital taking damage. Marines in the mine. I'm going to regather as well. He's looking for a wraparound, and those Marines in some trouble. They're going to get caught. We are just about, though, going to be able to turn the Lings back the other way, so we're going to push this out of here. Even though those Lings getting shut down. I thought Bjorn might have been in trouble there, but SHIN does not get enough of a catch. Now we have Drilling Claws. 2-2 upgrades on the way from Bjorn. A couple of additional medevacs coming over as well. +1 vehicle playing. 2-2 on the engineering base. These Marines going to unload in that bottom corner already. Ooh, SCVs go down already as well. Seven SCVs, 4 drones. Both players taking some shots. Bjorn falling behind a little bit on that supply count at the moment. Is going to knock, the rocks will fall. Again, the Lings and the Banes gather. A couple Queens going to be over there as well. Continue to join at the moment. Let's reset them again. A lot of action on the map right now. Got those Marines coming over also. A couple medevacs overhead. See what else we can try and do. And it's going to be a bit of a chase in the center. Acceleration zones are going to make this a little bit of a funky one as well, of course. So a little bit of a busy time there as we just have Ling Bane and Hydra all joining up. And we are going to see Bjorn just immediately evacuating this base. He's bringing a lot of units back from the left-hand side where he is being chased by the Zerg as well. So has to also come across and deal with that at some stage here. As Ling Bane and Hydra, like I say, already having a big amount of success over in this position. Good time so far. I'm just going to be seeing another CC coming down. -12 SCVs. Bjorn going to try and replace this one, but SHIN's army is still right there, so we still need to actually stop and do something about this. You can see our Marines coming back over. SHIN might actually have a good enough dive onto this topside base now, as Bjorn is a bit out of position once more. Spread is okay for Bjorn. He's going to have to re-stim, and all the SCVs are beginning to go down, so the damage is absolutely pouring through. The Woodermine shots are going to go off. We are just going to be seeing those Lings still swarming, and SHIN seems to be having enough to keep Bjorn in a very troublesome spot at this current point in time. Actually comes down over to the left side. A lot more other units coming into the center as well. take a secondary position again. Bjorn has been bleeding out workers quite heavily recently. We'll see if he can do anything to turn that around and to push things back in his favor, perhaps just a little bit. He's going to gather. There's going to be seeing the Lingbane Lurker. I mean, Lurker's been out as well. Is obviously an issue for Bjorn at this point in time. Having to deal with Lurkers now is a whole extra addition to what he wanted to be having to handle initially. Come straight back through. We're going to start pushing onwards. So you've seen the Marines pulling back. Lingbane Hydra still pushing in. Man, feels like SHIN just has endless amount of stuff, and Bjorn is not having a chance to be able to shut down any of this so far, it feels like. I mean, just this is just going to be absolutely brutal at this stage. It feels as though we are going to have ourselves a PvZ final. SHIN is going to bring it back from the 1-0 deficit he started this series with. There we go. Just catch a couple of lurkers, Bjorn. I mean, a small win or two at the end of this, but again, a lot of SCVs already went down here. Going to run through. The water mines put some work in at least, so they're going to see some success. It's nice to see, but I'm not going to be completely convinced by it. Obviously, we do need Bjorn to really try his best to shut this down where possible. Marines going to try and do their thing. To be fair, I mean, Bjorn's actually fighting back pretty nicely. The last few moments have not been too bad for him. Definitely taken a opportunity to kind of step back in place a little bit in position and get into a bit of a better spot here currently. Once again, breaking through a couple of these lurkers, so seeing a little bit more success right now. Seeing a lot of stuff going down, a lot being picked away at here. Just a lot falling in general right now, as we do see this position continue to develop through, though. And we're going to have a couple more shots coming around. Just going to be seeing the Marines now unload into the high ground as well. Also trying to see some success. Lurker's going to try and get the defense going. Again, Bjorn is really counter-attacked really nicely. Just when it felt like things were very one-sided, honestly. This really has been a great bounce back, like I say, from Bjorn. I'm genuinely a little bit shocked at how well it's gone for him. And it's just going to be seeing the medevac, the Marines still coming through, SCVs and a couple of mines. Wing Hydra coming over as well. Seeing these Marines still pushing forward. Minus 18 SCVs on the other side. So a lot of workers down the other side. Hydra's lunging forward, trying to get rid of the medevac, going to make these Marines unhealable. But then the Marines are actually still getting rid of a bunch of the Hydras as well. But it does mean that we obviously end up in a position here where you have the the lurkers out, and obviously Marines without medevacs are unlikely going to be able to fight against those lurkers for very long. So you gotta imagine that's going to be a big part of this too. Marines continue across. Our army resettling. SHIN again has been on a struggle to again stabilize, honestly, so far. Maybe we start to get there now. Night's Network coming up, some extra lings on the way over as well. And those Marines and the medevacs continue to gather in for a few moments here. Trying to knight us into the main base. Bjorn gets a couple of mines to play defense. If anything does pop out of this, should be able to handle it decently. Maybe not. Too many lurkers popped out. The first two couple shots, but then we actually just can't deal with these lurkers. Problem, of course, being is that Bjorn doesn't have the tech to really truly break us out of these scenarios either, so we're just kind of permanently stuck in these positions and able to actually break away. And Bjorn trying to obviously break through back into his main base is going to end up being extremely expensive for him. And yeah, I think that's going to be the GG, which gives us our finals, which is going to be PvZ. SHIN will battle against herO, we now know. So now we know that that is going to be the dealio. We'll get ready for that very soon. Get that ready to rumble, guys. So Zerg versus Protoss final, SHIN versus herO. We'll see if herO can find a way to beat the Zerg, because it has been a struggle for Protoss in general lately. Man, a series that took a bit longer at least. This may not be as fast of a day as it was seeming, because boy, were we on track for just a record-paced Kung Fu Cup. It was going so freaking quickly, it was actually kind of wild, so kind of glad to see things actually slow down a little bit, and a bit of a longer series. Obviously, it is best of 5 in the final, guys. We'll be bringing that up in a few moments in the form of, I can say, the PvZ SHIN versus... yes, SHIN versus herO. Coming up real soon. Real soon. Oh. Alright, perfecto. Boom, 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 boom. Just get the ads going on the YouTube over here, guys. In fact, I'm just going to BRB a second while we get this finals ready. I will come back with SHIN herO hopefully in just a few moments. I'll be back with you in just seconds. We can be back in a second, guys. SHIN and herO in the lobby. Game 1 of this best of 5. Starting in a few moments. Getting this up and ready to go, go, go. Yeah, thanks for joining us for today's Kung Fu Cup. Finally, a bit of a longer series that last one, so it's not gonna. We were on like absolute record pace. But yeah, we are able to have a bit of a longer second semi-final now into this grand final. As in the bottom left corner of the map, we're going to actually start off with the blue Protoss player. This is going to be herO. He takes on the red Zerg in the top right corner of Washout for the opening game. We've got ourselves SHIN. Say best of 5. Excited. I'm excited every day we see herO right now because I'm like, did he figure something out? Has he got something crazy planned? He's definitely had a few different approaches to all of the matchups, honestly, recently. So it's been kind of interesting to see that, and hopefully it'll be interesting to see him come through with a little bit more again here as we get this all on the way by. We get this started off. Something that comes down the gateway will begin to come up. And we're just going to see very standard starting point as herO actually goes absolutely no scout, right? So pretty greedy, not scouting at all. Just trying to preserve as many minerals as possible in the early game, it seems. Yeah, just not going for that initial info gathering setup like you might typically or usually expect. So it's kind of interesting, actually. And the hatch coming down, you get settled for a few moments. Just gonna see the probe is gonna come back across as well. It's just gonna wander back along for a handful of moments here. Get that on the way. And we will continue through. Waiting for what herO might want to do in these early stages of the matchup. Like I say, definitely intrigued as to what his game plan is and what he's thinking of. herO definitely hasn't shied away from being kind of the guy to try and figure things out, I suppose. In all the matchups, really, like he's been consistently kind of happy to, like I say, experiment. You know, he's not just been trying to do one thing and one thing only. If it's not working, it's not working. It's just like, well, I'm screwed. He really has been the experimenter, I would say, for Protoss players, or one of the experimenters for Protoss players. And so late. Take a few moments and we settle down. There's many glaives from herO, so not going to go into that Stargate, which is very typically one of the big things that we kind of see in these scenarios. So it's going to take a little bit of a different approach here just at first. Resonant Glaives coming through. Take a couple of moments. Settle down on that. We see our Adepts and the Glaives continuing up. The Eva Chamber and the drones coming along as well. So again, settling just a little bit here. Seeing where we get to. Adepts will begin to go across the map. Obviously, Shin needs Lings against this. He's only building Lings right now. Bane Nest on the way. It's always scary to be defending only with the Zerglings. Always feels as though that's going to be a little disastrous for you. So let's see if that will actually be the case or not here. This time around. The Adepts obviously already showing up. A good amount. I mean, it's a lot of Lings that he has. He has a lot of Lings available, if nothing else, so that's already a pretty good sign. You're going to lose 3 workers. Shin is up by about 10 drones as well, so like pretty good for you if you only lose 10 workers. If you only lose 3 workers, you're still up with workers. Obviously, is just generally going to be where you want to be, so actually looking very good there. The Zergling's going to continue around and very nearly. Oh, if those Adepts hadn't seen those Lings they might have shaded, then they would have been surrounded. So a split second differently timed, and that could have been disastrous, actually, for herO. That's not so bad in the end then. So it could have been a whole lot worse. Going to be seeing the Adepts going to shade again. It's going to be seeing a couple of Phoenix. Coming around, a couple of those Adepts is going to fire their Glaives out. We've now got Phoenix on the follow-up, which is obviously, it's not unheard of. It's something we've seen before, but it's definitely not the common way of going about things. That much is for sure. Definitely a very unique approach, as you are going to see Lings and Roaches both combining to run forward for an attack. I mean, this is where the Phoenix are also going to be questionable. Are the Phoenix going to be able to actually provide a defense at this point? To me, this is where it's extremely tough to have enough units to play defense, because the Phoenix, yeah, they can lift things, but where's your damage output to do something about the fact that you're lifting stuff up as well, right? I think that's also just going to be a major problem, essentially. Seeing the Zerglings coming back over. A kill of 11 probes. hero's supply is not exactly looking great right now. It's looking not ideal at all, honestly. You can see the breach of the natural is obviously going to be pretty noteworthy, and again, hard to really be positive for herO in this one. I mean, Shin has a good work count. hero's starting to play a bit of cleanup. Just don't really think it's ever going to be enough here. Ling's still moving about. Again, going to reposition a little. Just going to have ourselves. The rest of that's all coming through. The Oracle's still active. The few Adepts are still swinging. I mean, don't get me wrong, Shin's going to get cleaned up, but he's now on a 30 worker lead, doubling the worker count of his opponent. So if you're doubling the worker count of your opponent, you're probably doing things right, I think is a pretty fair statement, generally speaking. So, yeah, it feels pretty okay. Let's see Phoenix still flying about. Spore Crawler going to hit the Phoenix a little bit, plus some missiles, and that Groove Spines continues to be added on as well. Queen's going to hit. Phoenix getting pushed away. A bit more damage being done at the moment. I just come to get underneath once more. Just going to shoot again. Just going to see that Overlord is going down, so that Overlord is dropping. Being cleaned up at the moment as well. The massive oracles that we built, which, hey, it's something, right? We build a bunch of air units, going to try and do something with them, but mages are out. GG says herO, and SHIN is going to comfortably take a game number 1 of this grand final. As herO's glaive attack, it again didn't really do anything, right? At the start of this, it just did not do enough in the slightest, and that put you into a difficult position right from the get-go. That already put us into, like I say, a very difficult place. And then SHIN followed up with the attack, and you go on Phoenix. I think going Phoenix in that scenario is very difficult, so yeah. Rainfall in map 2. I'll get this started up in a second, guys. Continue on in. Do-do-do-do. Countdown will complete. Let's get into this, guys. We are going to head into the top left-hand corner with our blue Protoss player. It is going to be herO. The bottom right upper game is going to be our red Zerg player, SHIN, as we get this up and ready. Go, go, go. Dun 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 bada bum. Oh, let's see what herO has planned for us in this one. Like I say, very interested in what herO's approach to these maps and matchups. And this matchup is still already first game. I mean, glaive openings are not something you see all the time, so. Maybe having the hatch continue together, gate coming over. I'm trying to be an annoyance, but it doesn't really block up or anything. I guess we get to gather a bit of info here at least. Drone comes over. Again, Overlord coming about. Hatchery is about to finish. The pool is coming by. Nexus and the Cyber Core continue to come up as well. Get the probe kill. Actually kind of nice to kill the probe off. Doesn't get to go back home. Couple drones just going to transfer toward that natural. Again, we've got the Link Speed and the Queens coming through. We'll get the Adept and the Stargate all building. seeing the drones trying to pull in, get after the Adept for a few moments. Adepts will gather, coming back again. That's those things actually going to try and grab that Adept. Not quite able to just yet. The Adept taking some big hits. Just gets out alive. 4 kills on this Adept. 5 Lings, a drone dead. 1 Adept obviously going down, but at least we've caused some chaos. At least we forced a bit of a response here for a little while. Having that probe coming across. Nexus drops down. The Adept is going to get caught for a few moments. Just going to see that taking some damage already. A few hits coming through as of right now. Again, a couple queens is going to get there. Just going to poke around for a couple of moments. Again, trying to see what we can do. Get some work in initially. Oracle getting pushed back down the bottom side. The few drones haven't gone down already. Things and those drones continuing about. Oracle is about to finish from herO. Nexus, probes, and the Adepts continue to come across as well. Waiting to push over. Oracle going to take some damage. He's going to be seeing me activate and getting another drone already. Let's have that forge finishing soon. Again, the fleet beacon is on its way. Add a few probes and a couple of Adepts into action. And again, a couple extractors coming up. Those creep tumors coming into place as well. At this point. Gonna try and fight again, try and see what else we've got. Seeing like 4 drones going down. It's going to be pretty serious damage at the moment. A lot happening at the moment. Just going to be seeing the rest of this coming over. I think it's going to continue by. This minus 10 drones, so success from these from this wave of Adepts. However, it's a lot of Adepts. We lost an Oracle as well. We've lost 17 workers in total. It's not been a great start from SHIN, but he's killed a fair amount in return at least. The mothership is now building. Mothership +1 attack, the charge, all of that coming through. Hydroden is building with the roaches and the roach speed, and the carapace upgrade coming online also. Shin's going to need to start looking at the Spire, so if Tempest and Motherships are building, we're going to need to get some Corruptors out. We can't play against this with nothing, as that was a bad war. I'm surprised Shin didn't kill the Adept and go for more. I actually don't think there's a lot of units out, but maybe he just doesn't quite know what's going on. Like, if the Mothership was already out here and you commit those Lings in, they probably all die, so I guess this is kind of fine. Call me in the DC. Here had a battery. Yeah, that's probably why he doesn't fight the Adept, though. You'd think he might try and drain the battery, though. I mean, he had, like, a surround on the Adept. Like, you can drain a battery so fast in that case, though. So even still. Oracle going to throw stasis down in the back. Things gonna head down the bottom, trying to see what's going on. We do have the +1 missiles, the muscular augments coming through. The Void Ray and the Tempest is gonna put some pressure on as well. It's gonna see that mothership overhead. And it's gonna see the Void Ray activate and a few Zelds get onto this hatch. Void Ray still active. Tempest here, the couple Zelds gonna swing down this hatchery. It does fall. A couple Archons are gonna start stepping through as well as the Tempest. Gonna be firing through. The couple Archons are here as well. The Roaches, the Lings, the Queens. Thinking about what their approach might be. Infestors now on the way. Shin's starting to add some extra tech into play then. It's not super heavy in the skies. Obviously, he still doesn't feel like he needs the Spire or anything. Gonna rely on the Hydras a little bit. I do think that's risky though. Against a Mothership and a chunk of Tempest, like at some point we need a way to make sure that they go down. Neural Parasite is going to build melee and the Carapace upgrades coming up as well. And I guess the Neural Parasite makes sense, because otherwise we don't necessarily have enough to deal with this, as SHIN is going to be forced to fight right now against a lot of Archons, eats a stasis dead in the face, but herO doesn't like the fight, he backs off. Yeah, well, okay. Maybe he didn't, maybe it wasn't the fact he didn't like that fight, maybe he just likes this fight a lot better. It's going to be a kill in the hatchery, we're going to drop a fungal down, we're going to get underneath the mothership, it's going to fall. This wasn't a cheap excursion from herO, he actually is going to end up losing a lot of stuff. Losing the mothership already is a pretty big factor. And then Hydra's going underneath, a couple of those Tempests get picked off, a couple of Archons and Zealots up on the high ground still. And again, Neural Parasite coming up, melee upgrade building through. Air weapons is producing +3 attack upgrade on its way as well. Mothership is still coming into place. And again, we can get a lot of that brought up at the moment. Army comes down, a couple of those creep tumors still sitting out the front as well. Thing's going to get back up towards the top, going to look threaten at least to surround on the cannons and the battery. Quite going to commit at the end. A couple of Overseers sitting about, Hydras, Roaches pulling back away, Zealots. Not going to do enough. Hydra's behind the Roaches doing a lot of work and actually going to be able to step forward now. Fungal on the Tempest to stop them cutting backward. I don't like it from SHIN though. I actually think, because he could have just killed the Archons first, he actually let the Archons do a lot of damage there. I mean, hard to obviously be super upset about it, but I do genuinely believe that this was... I don't want to say it was bad, right? But this actually does feel kind of weird that it felt like it could have been better for SHIN. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't get the Tempest in that scenario, though. But I feel like by chasing the Tempest, we actually took a lot of damage, so... yeah. Few Zealots to the upper right, just going to keep it moving. The Roaches and the Hydra coming across as well here. SHIN's attempt to be aggressive is going to be pushed back. Oh, Mothership showing up. We're actually going to turn and fight here again. Do we have enough splash to deal with the Hydra count? I mean, it's a pretty good question. The Hydra count is notable right now, and if we don't have storms, could be tough. It's a good time warp, but SHIN just mostly pulls out of it. The Zealot count is not good enough right now from herO at all. Not good enough at all. A couple extra Archons joining the fray, but that's not going to do it either. As we are just going to be seeing SHIN having enough to push on through, about to take himself a 2-0 lead in this series. What a turnaround this patch has been for SHIN against herO. It has been... probably like, this one's done. Yeah, I mean, this is a... this is the kind of This is kind of the a wild matchup to see turn around so heavily because SHIN was like so unfavored against herO before. Now 2-0 up, and obviously just in general just has been doing well against herO recently as well. So that's also just been a pretty hefty positive. Crazy business. Crazy business, guys. All right, we will start up soon, my friends. Just waiting for Game 3 to be hosted. It's going to be Sanctuary. Loading in. Get to another game. Thank you for joining us again today. Appreciate you all being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And yeah, keep on enjoying some StarCraft 2 with us. I'm going to get into this one in a second. We're in the lobby, just waiting for everyone to be readied up and set to go. Awesome. Let's go into Sanctuary, my friends. Let's get this one started. Has Protoss cooked? I mean, Protoss is not doing well in this patch. It's yet to be figured out just yet, for sure. It's not impossible, but we've definitely seen a lot of the strong Protoss players struggling. Top right-hand side, our blue Protoss player is going to be herO down 0-2 in the final. Kung Fu Cup was an event he was dominating for quite some time, until just recently, so see what happens here as we continue through. In that bottom left, here in the upper right, and herO bounce back in the Kung Fu Cup today. Can he? Drone gonna come down over on the hatch here. Just gonna get that set up initially. It's just gonna get that going as a starting point for us right now. Bring that into position. Well, drones gather around, so we'll see what we can do here for a moment or so just to start us off. Forward gathering and just going to be moving. See what's going on as well. So yeah, take a few moments, nothing too crazy happening just yet. Early. Going to the Stargate opening. I mean, here again, he's been definitely mixing it up over the course of these games. Doing a couple of different things thus far. I got that Void Ray on the way. I wonder if you can see a bunch of Void Rays. Obviously, that's been something we've been experiencing a lot of recently, the big Void Ray accounts. It's been a big part of this PvZ meta. Skytoss. I don't even know if Skytoss has been that reliable or anything, though, you know? Like, like, has it been the best for Protoss? I think it's maybe given Zerg some of their biggest difficulties, but I just think that's... Skytoss is just powerful, right? Has it been truly, like, the strongest style to play? Yeah, I actually don't know if that's really true, but... Well, it might be, yeah, I guess then it is probably the strongest style to play, but whether it's just, like, you know, it's so... it doesn't feel unbeatable, I guess. Yeah. Sometimes, you know, you take the wrong fights into as the Zerg, or you try and end it too early, and it gets very one-sided very quickly, but... I think SHIN said it best when he first played against herO on one of these new patches. There's obviously been a bunch of changes since then, but he said, it really felt like if I didn't make mistakes, I was super confident and calm and collected that I was going to be able to win. I think that's when he was like 0-2 down and he like did a full three game reverse sweep turnaround. And I feel like that's kind of where PvZ is at for a lot of Zergs at the moment, where it's like, well, if I just stay calm and collected and I don't, you know, screw it up for myself, I'm probably going to end up in a pretty okay position, you know? I'm probably going to be pretty happy with my outcome. So, yeah. It's interesting. It is interesting to kind of figure these things out and see where everyone's at and so on and so forth. Maybe seeing the Adept able to hold the front against this Ling. There's the second Stargate, so we are just going to be seeing the full commitment here to a Skytoss for the moment, at least. So we got that started. Bring that into place. Void Ray is trying to show up, but so far the defense pretty good on the side of SHIN. He's going to have to deal with the depths at the same time. Loses a few drones here at least, so at least seeing some damage being dealt. 3 workers only though from those adepts. Again, I imagine you would have probably wanted at least a little bit more than that. Yeah, a few more drones. The Lings don't do too much on the counter. Defense being made there at the moment at least, so bit of defense coming around as we continue to settle through. And a couple more voids on their way out as well at the moment, so bringing that up, getting that going, getting this all started here for now. I get cancelled on the 4th base, which is nice as well. Any value you're going to be able to find out of these Void Rays is generally going to be a big positive. We like that, so big win at the moment there for herO to actually delay the 4th of the Zerg a little bit already. Just for now. We're just showing up again, just trying to fight against the Queens early. And trying to see some success. Seeing what they can maybe find for themselves at the moment. Well, the Hive is on the way, so SHIN is going to get a little bit more of his tech up and running here over the next few seconds, so we get that tech underway as well. Bring that about. Just seeing the hatchery actually going down the main base. Well, that's kind of a big one. Main base goes down. It's not the lad, it's not the Hive, so we at least have that positive note for the moment. bit of positivity for us to hang on to at this current point in time as we take a couple of seconds. Extra Hydras gathering up the mothership, the Void Ray. A couple of extra Zealots are on their way through also here. Continue to bring that all into play. Just for now. We're going to be seeing the extra Zealots producing out those gateways then, so bringing those around, getting that all set up here momentarily. I'm going to be having that map. I mean, that Void Ray map count is massive up to the top side. So many Voids in play at the moment. Big numbers at this point. See, the Voids are going to try and push around then. We have the Mothership showing up, Zealots as well. Fungals available, so we actually do have some of the spellcasts we need to maybe help with this. We hit good Fungals initially onto the Void Rays. Do we have more Fungals? No, I think we're out. Time Warp dropped down nicely as well. SHIN is already having to try and recuperate further back. If you can get through those Zealots, I just don't know if there's ever enough to actually get rid of the Void Rays after is the problem. Extra Hydras have just shown up. They've used most of the spellcast on the Protoss side, but spellcasting in this case was basically just the mothership. The Viper showing up is massive as well, and actually we failed to split the Parasitic Bomb away! That Parasitic Bomb lasted for so long in the clump, and that's massive, helping to push herO back, and herO's not going to love engaging in with low shields on all of those units. That's going to feel terrible for him, so yeah, that's not going to be something he rushes back into. What a major moment right there to slow things down for SHIN just when he needed it. Hits another Parasitic Bomb on the mothership. That's nice because it keeps the mothership from regenerating shields. So you keep the mothership extremely vulnerable, essentially, right? And if you're keeping the mothership vulnerable, it's just going to be an easier pickoff. It is one of the big things in this composition right now that you have to respect. So you can see the battery is. We actually just recall everything home and just again, appreciation given, I think, there from herO saying, okay, you've actually got my units kind of beaten up a little bit. I don't like it. My army's good, but it's not good if I'm fighting half HP as we start, so I imagine that's going to be a part of the idea here as we settle through. Just going to be seeing the High Templars coming on up. Gather there for a second, just going to be pulling through. I mean, we got the High Templars and the Storm. It's going to be very difficult, however, we do have Ultras. So the problem is you've got to kind of balance these Ultras diving in versus the fact that there's Void Rays overhead that can do extremely well. So it's kind of a bit of an interesting combo that you're having to handle here. Storms all over the place. SHIN gonna try and find a lunge forward, but I don't love lunging in when those storms are still active. As you can see, that is a major problem. Major problem right now. It's gonna be GG's as we have ourselves SHIN tapping out, and we are gonna give one of the maps of this series over to herO. All right, gonna get into a game 4 in a second, seeing if herO can take a second as the Void Rays get it done. Like I said, guys, the most successful thing we've seen as of late for the Protoss kind of has been the Void Rays. They've definitely had the highest rate of success, I would say. Never saw an Ultra got killed that fast. That Ultra got deleted. I mean, to be fair, you see Ultras get deleted against Immortals a lot of the time too. So it's like, you know, it's Immortals, it's Void Rays, whatever you pick. It's not a good time for the Ultralisks if there's a lot of them. Why are you fighting on YouTube, guys? Calm down. Chill. Don't fight each other. Let's dive in. To the bottom right-hand side, it is going to be our blue Protoss player. This is herO. Down by only one map now, as he takes on SHIN in this finals. I got this one ready to resume. Yeah, I look away from YouTube chat for half a game, look back, everyone's scrapping. That's me having those couple drones still coming about as well. So just going to see them being brought about. Just got ourselves the setup coming through. We take a couple moments. So you're going to go back to the voids. Is he going to try something else ground-based again? The problem is it's too late to make mistakes anymore. Whatever you could do, you've got to truly believe is going to win you this game and then the next game after as well, I would imagine. Well, not that you necessarily have to only play one thing, but over the next two games, but it's oftentimes how it goes, so we'll see. Let's see. Take a few seconds right here. Probe nibbling up some of the drones, taking some damage. We go back and forth a little bit. I feel like this patch buffed Atos. I mean, did it buff Atos though? What got buffed? But genuine question, because sometimes I forget. But genuinely curious what we think got buffed. I think it was more just like ground toss got. Again, ground toss got like. It's just weird with the warp gates and stuff, right? Like the warp gates and so definitely make it a little bit interesting. I was gonna see the couple of lings coming over. The adept is gonna move through there for a couple of moments. Feelings actually gonna wrap around. Looking to be a little bit of an annoyance dealer. That is back around in this direction, so again we just hang around for a couple seconds. Step's going to try and shade forward once again, see if there's a little bit extra they can find for themselves, see if there's anything exciting that may come from this. So far, nothing too crazy though, still I would say. Just the two adepts going to try and find some damage, try and find an opening. See, nothing crazy, just the expected sort of setup at this point. do have the feeling he's going to run around. Those adepts really do not last very long this time out, so handle that pretty well here. Pretty well and pretty quickly. As we then have the Oracle production starting up. herO very quick to the third base here on at Eternity's Edge. Can take that triangular base as well, which is also kind of a little funky early as well. Get this on the go. Oracle going to try and stay his water around the back. It's just going to be maybe the... It's going to be the drone or so, I think. They're not going to be too wild. Just having the hatchery comes down onto that left-hand side. Oracle actually going to get a queen here, which is just low as we fly in. Spores a little bit off to the edges, so we'll not be able to do too much else for a couple seconds. Good Dev's still gathering around, just going to join up for a moment or two still. Again, just herO trying to find some damage early, trying to find the opportunity to make something happen already. Trying to find opportunities as we just see the adepts. They're going to go for 6 drones, so good damage early from herO this time around. Definitely succeeding on the aggressive front. Yeah, definitely succeeding on the aggressive side of this. Oracle still trying to throw down stasis swords. We continue to put the defense in. The queens gather up. Another stasis in the back. We can target that down again. Good queen count here. Good movement from SHIN, making sure that this is not becoming too much of an issue or anything. Trying to make sure that this maintains at a very reasonable spot at the moment. See those feelings still wrapping around. So let's see if they can do extra. We have the Spire coming up early this time around as well, out of SHIN. So he's going to get himself to that Spire much more quickly than before. It's kind of an interesting thing to keep our eyes on. Move over for a moment or two. Another 8 drones again. SHIN is just not having a good game compared to previously. In the past, he was looking extremely comfortable in these early stages, but it's been a much rougher start of this game. Now the mothership comes out. We are playing on the ground here this time around from... yeah, we are playing on the ground here as herO with the Immortals and the Blinken still. Let's see, the Corruptor's obviously out. Would love to chase down these Oracles first of all, and beyond the Oracles, not be a bad thing if we could also get some action onto that mothership, right? If you can deny that mothership, that's generally going to be a big plus for you as well. We do lose the gold-based attempt in the bottom left, so SHIN is not exactly being allowed to get up there very easily at all either. Definitely a problem is just seeing, again, those drones gather up. Roaches, the carapace upgrade, the flyer attack continue to come into play as well just currently. And a lot of this through the Corruptors will obviously try and get some caustic sprays off, going to try and force some defense wherever they can do so. And so far, they forced the Mothership to drop a cloak, right? I mean, it's not super expensive or anything, but it is some progress towards at least making it so your opponent is not completely just free. We're actually going to catch the Mothership from the bottom side, take it down. Does SHIN have enough ground army to contest with the rest of this Protoss force? Good question, and the answer is going to be, well, it seems like he's going to do very well for himself, if nothing else, I guess. I'm not going to lie, didn't see the SHIN. I didn't expect SHIN to have as much opportunity there as he initially started to have, so a little bit of a surprising one. And to see the Stalker's going to try and zone these Corruptors. Now, the only problem with these Corruptors now is obviously you've got a bunch of Corruptors that are, again, if you don't really have a way to use them, what are they going to do? Sit there and, like I say, not really be super useful or anything at the moment. It's a little bit of an awkward few moments. As you see, the Corruptors are going to come back around. Blinking forward, there's Banes nearby. No Bane speed, or they could have turned much more comfortably into that to truly get a bit of a denial going on. It's not too much coming through from there. It's going to be seeing the Stalkers, the Immortals continue to try and hold out. SHIN would love to hold on to this gold base. It's going to be awkward. His opponent owns the high ground and can move to the low ground very comfortably. It's definitely going to be a difficult one. Corruptors continue to be targeted here, so we see a little bit more damage being dealt, work still being done. I mean, I like that we're still being active with these Corruptors and continue to try and find damage with them as SHIN, you know? He's not giving up on the units that he made. He's not just throwing them away. He'll be as annoying as possible and just trying to, again, guarantee as much as he can out of this situation at the moment still. He's only on 3 Corruptors now, and there's a new Mothership building, so you might actually want some of those Corruptors if the Mothership comes back up. Gets into the natural gap that's opened up earlier. We're going to see Banes, I was going to say, go into the Zealot Sentry portion of this very easily. I guess he doesn't know where the Bane should go next, because they don't really want to crash into Immortals. They're going to aim for mineral lines. The Ravagers have a lot of work to do here. Like I say, it's almost too many Banelings from SHIN. He's like, I've got no idea where to put these to actually put them to good use. Like, you can see the hesitation in using the Banelings, which is, again, kind of crazy. I mean, I think he was right to obviously chase the probes. He got a lot of them in the end. I think that was the right idea. Just a little bit slow to maybe do it. So that's obviously pricey, because time is typically of the essence. In StarCraft 2, Stalker's going to go counterattack and check to see what SHIN has on the rebuild. It's a bunch more Banes again. Against just the Stalkers, you'd imagine the Lings alone would have been pretty okay. Not going to see those coming up though, however, so never mind on that. We're not going to be seeing, I mean, SHIN's, I was going to say, going to have to try and deal with this army. He just doesn't have the army supply. He's done so much eco damage, but he has not done the army damage he needs. Again, I actually think he made too many Banes. I just think if he didn't make the Banes and he had Lings instead, he would have had a better option to actually try and trade out there, funnily. Like, it's kind of weird, but, like, I actually think the Banes would have given us... Like, I actually think if he just has more Zerglings, like, the Banes were not successful. Like, the Banes had nothing to connect onto, right? And if he then spends that gas on something else, I don't know if he had the, you know, maybe a few more Ravagers or so. Like, Ling Ravager feels a lot better there. Conceding on 30 more supply. Yeah, it was all in workers, though. He was down 20 army supply and heroes on top of his bases, right? So you can't really do much else about it. Guys, we got to go to a full 5-game series in this best of 5 final. Hey, this day picked up a little bit. I was genuinely scared that this was going to be like a... I don't know what I was thinking, like an actual like 2.5-2-hour stream. But we're going to get there. We're going to get to like 3.5 hours. That's something in the end. It's nice. It's nice. Alrighty, guys. And get this on the go. As BlackRock will be our deciding map of this series. In the bottom left-hand corner, it is going to be our blue Protoss player herO, while in the top right is our red Zerg player SHIN. And SHIN had a 2-0 lead, but herO has started to crack on through. He's found some workings. It started to make a big difference in these last few moments. See if SHIN can get his mojo back here towards the end of this. Tell you what, it is nice seeing PvZ be like a bit more varied in terms of like different things. What I do wonder is how much of this, obviously this is the cool thing about actually waiting with a patch and actually seeing the patch play out a bit. Like, it is cool to see how much of that is actually just like people are still figuring things out or testing things versus we actually get to like a certain point where it's like, oh no, yep, this is definitely the way we want to be playing this, for example. So forward, slow moving around down the bottom side for a couple of moments. Taking a second here. Proby is obviously coming to see what's up as well. Would love to get some info. Information good. All his time in StarCraft 2, information still good. Crazy realization. Proby is obviously going to step around. That Nexus still coming up. Little Queens and so coming on in as well. Ling's going to try and put a bit more of that pressure into place, so I'm just going to deal with the probe and push that back. Obviously, we've got the Zealot actually on the map, so Zealot that might try and come through for some initial bits of pressure. Stalker just going to fight. The couple Zerglings already taking some pretty hefty damage there, so they're going to take quite a few shots. Some work being done at the moment. To pick on those. A couple Lings going to come about again. Ling speed all coming around. Get moving for a little bit. Ling's getting in is obviously really nice. Now the pylon hitting. No wall completed against this Ling flood is going to put you in a disaster place for herO. It's very, very bad. The Zealot and the Adept go down. The problem is there's just no hope of re-engaging into like the wall off here, I think. And the Phoenix first instead of an Oracle is also pretty damning. Wow. The Ling Flood is good. Ling Flood, I guess, is a high percentage play right now because you're also playing against, you know, a lot less kind of straight Oracle openings too, because people are mixing it up a little bit. Although I guess if you go into like a 2-gate opener, so it's pretty rough. Anticlimactic end, yeah. Ling Flood to wrap it up is like, yeah, a little bit anticlimactic, but sometimes it be like that, my friends. Sometimes it be like that. Hey, at least you got a 5-game series, because let's be fair, it was like 2-0 initially, and then it was looking as though it was going to be very quick on top of what was already a quick day. It was like maybe only that... I really thought for a little bit it was only going to be that Beyond SHIN series which had any real weight to it today, but yeah, as I've said a couple times now, it was obviously not quite how it ended up, so that is good. Geez, my friends, thank you so much for watching some Kung Fu Cup today. It's heckin' hot today, guys. I'm not upset about it being a short one. I'm gonna go elsewhere to cool down. And I appreciate you all tuning in and watching some StarCraft 2. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Tomorrow, we're live with the OSC King of the Hill. And then Friday, I'll be off. Saturday and Sunday, I will have the WardiTV Summer Cup playoff for you guys. That's all coming up. If you enjoy the content, obviously like, subscribe, and follow. Consider donating, consider cheering, consider subscribing. Use your Prime subs if you didn't already have the Prime subs used. If you've got one available, consider using it, because like I say, it helps us out a whole bunch. And I appreciate it if you do support. We'll host you guys on over to the WardiTV 24/7 stream, which has been doing great lately, by the way, guys. Thank you so much for being hanging out over there. It's been a lot of fun chatting with people here and there and just watching the games. Right now, it's either, I think it's actually Kung Fu Cup 2020 games have just started. I think we've just gotten to the end of WSG qualifiers on the 24/7 stream. But there's a lot of like top-end Koreans playing each other for the next few hours on the 24/7 stream. So I'll leave you guys with that. Thank you so much. I'll run some ads in the outro. Stick around for those. Otherwise, appreciate you guys and have a great rest of your day. I'll catch you tomorrow for some more StarCraft 2 in the form of the OSC King of the Hill, as previously mentioned. Like I say, thank you so much for hanging out and being here, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for more. Bye, guys.